So her father, when she was born, sort of ended up starting drinking a lot and then becoming abusive, and then of course he dies because, you know, it's got to be sad. And then her mom suddenly, I guess, succumbs to lust and starts like going out with multiple men, and obviously that's not great for a child's environment. And yeah, it's just, and then of course she dies as well because everyone has to die in otome games. Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'll be making a casual show and tell type video of otome games that I recently purchased. So every 3 to 4 months I end up buying like a few otome games. You know, I succumbed to temptation, and the same happened last year in December as well. But this is a Christmas gift, you know, and I can make a video out of it as well, so that's my excuse. Anyway, let me just go straight into it and show you all the games that I got. This time you know, in my defense, this time I bought quite a few because I got my father to send it to me. But anyway, first up is Wolves Saga. Now this game is notorious for being one of the most messed up games out there. It's about these wolf guys and humans living together in unison. So there's like a wolf clan, werewolf clan, I suppose, and like the humans, and you know, they were happy, but one day a disease started spreading and rumors went around saying that it was caused by these werewolves, and as such a huge kind of culling down event happened where everyone started killing off werewolves, and it was really, really horrible. And yeah, I really don't know the rest of like the story of what happens because I can only really tell you what it says on the blurb. But yeah, apparently like I've heard that in some routes it's hard to say that there's any love there. It's just like abuse. So there's loads of trigger warnings. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted, and but my curiosity got the best of me, and I really wanted to know what it was about, and so many people were speaking about it that I had to get it. And this is probably the most expensive game out of the lot because, I don't know, the price is quite high for what it is. And but yeah, I bit the bullet. I was like, no, Luli, it's been on your list for like 2-3 years now. It's now or never. I mean, it wasn't really now or never, but as I said, succumb to temptation. So yeah, this shall be interesting. I really don't know what to expect, but yeah, apparently some of the routes, it's like hard to say whether it's even romance at all. It's just like abuse. So, you know, definitely check the trigger warning type things before you proceed to buy it. It's unlocalized. But basically all these games are unlocalized, and yeah, I'll definitely make a review once I've finished playing it. Now, next up is Unbirthday Song. Now this game, I mean, I know I just spoke about a messed up one. Now this one's an incredibly tragic title. It's about a main character that encounters these two guys that just kind of appear out of nowhere, and they're like, by the way, you've only got 1 month left to live, and she's like, excuse me? But apparently she accepts it really well. And I'm sitting there going like, if someone came to me and said I only had 1 month left to leave, I'm sorry to say, but I wouldn't believe them. And even if I did, I'd be like, excuse me, is there any way of changing this? Like, I don't think I'd accept it so smoothly, but hey, each their own. And but you know what's cute is that she accepts it, but then goes, there is one thing, however, that I really want to do before I die, and that is to tell her crush that she likes him. I mean, I don't know, as sweet as that sounds, part of me is kind of like, would you want to do that though? Because imagine if you tell him and then he likes you back and you end up becoming a thing. That's like one more person to be sad about. Like, imagine being the guy, you finally find this girl that you like, and then she's gonna die. Like, isn't that kind of mean? Like, I don't know, is that just me? I don't think I'd tell him. I guess they say it's better to have loved and lost than never to love at all, but hard to say. But anyway, needless to say, this is an incredibly tragic story. I've heard there aren't really any necessarily happy good endings, and it's just really sad, and I'm sitting there going, I'll play it when I'm too happy, if that's even a thing, because I think I'm gonna cry. an ugly cry, who knows? Actually, it might be that kind of cry more than a cry, so but we shall see. It takes a lot for a game to make me cry, but it should be interesting. And I think, considering there are 3 guys, maybe that like 2 of them are the death god people that came along that you end up romancing, and then one of them's the crush, maybe? I'm not sure, but we shall find out. And I think it is, however, available on the PC, and there is an English patch, I think. I wouldn't know any details, but that is what I have heard. Now, next up is Black Code. Now, I actually wanted to just get the standard edition because it was cheaper, but they didn't have stock, so I went for the limited edition because it was still cheap, just, you know, the other one was a lot cheaper. I say a lot cheaper, it was 1,000 yen cheaper, which is like, what, £7 or something. But hey, every penny counts. But yeah, so it's kind of ironic, isn't it? Normally you kind of don't have stock of the limited edition, hence why limited, but in this case it was the other way around. And this game is interesting in that it's about this girl who has this kind of almost curse about her, so a bit like Versh, I guess, although I don't think this is too depressing. But she has this problem, issue, curse thing where whoever she spends time around ends up succumbing to one of the 7 deadly sins, I guess, or what it seems to be that way, where they go a bit funny. So her father, when she was born, sort of ended up starting drinking a lot and then becoming abusive, and then of course he dies because, you know, it's got to be sad. And then her mom suddenly, I guess, succumbs to lust and starts like going out with multiple men, and obviously that's not great for a child's environment. And yeah, it's just, and then of course she dies as well because everyone has to die in otome games. I say it while laughing, everyone's gonna think I'm cold-hearted, but no, the reason why I'm laughing is because, like, it's always like that, isn't it? They've always got to make the main character surrounded by tragedy in some way or another. But anyway, what's good though is that at least her older sister, for some reason, doesn't get affected by it. So her older sister doesn't change and just, you know, is all fine. But anyway, she ends up going to this specialist school where it's kind of like they learn to be like almost guards or something like that. And but another, you know, people can apply every year to become part of what's called like, basically students that are eligible to become specialist security, shortened to SS. And basically she applies and manages to pass, and then becomes part of this small group. And she also finds out, once she does this, that there is a mafia crew that they're trying to eliminate. And they're kind of, you then discover that they're like the devils, and the guards, like the normal guards, are angels. And there's like this weird angels versus demons type thing going on. And yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm really excited. I don't actually know how many allies there are. Like, I think he's one, because they're big here. I think he's one, which I'm looking forward to. I've heard there's like a twin ending, so maybe they are too. I really don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But another thing is that there's a fair amount of spice in this, which is another reason why I wanted to buy this, because I have not played a game with spice in it for like a whole year. So, you know, it's kind of nice to finally have a game where there's like a bit more than holding hands, if you know what I mean, because it gets a bit like repetitive when all the games you're playing is like max holding hands. And yeah, and I don't really like playing, I like playing R18 games as well, but then like pixelated stuff that you can see isn't like, it grosses me out a little bit. So that's why, you know, I prefer an R17 title where you don't see everything. It's all just like, it's kind of covered up, you know, kind of, with Quinn Rose games anyway. But yeah, so Black Code. Sorry, I am looking forward to this, even though it's a PSP game, which is super old school. Next up is Angelique Luminerise. I think some of you already know this one because it's quite modern, it's quite recent in the release, and it's about this main character who is living her life and hates life really, because she's, you know, an office worker and she's like, oh, things aren't going great. And then one day she goes to the bar, and then ends up signing this contract that she didn't really realize or why she was signing, and it was like signing to say that she's happy to participate in the almost competition type of thing of becoming the next queen of the galaxy. I mean, what sort of what did she get herself into? But then at least she then ends up in this like lovely, wonderful world full of cute guys, you know, where she can pick whoever she wants essentially. There is a lot of gameplay in this, and there are 2 candidates for this place of becoming queen of the galaxy, and the other one, it's really weird because the main character is kind of like really relatable in that, you know, she's living life and she hates work, which is basically 80% of everyone. But the other one's like a super successful, I think, CEO, or may not necessarily be CEO, but someone really, you know, high up the ranks and doing really well in life. And it's weird how there's such a contrast between the 2 people. And it's really sad in a way because like your rival is this cool person, and you know, she's really accepting, like she's like, oh yeah, we can be friends and stuff because they live next door. But then like when you're actually doing the gameplay, because part of it is you get given land and you have to basically build it to an extent that's worthy of you becoming queen of the galaxy, and yours has to be better than hers. But there are moves where you can basically do things to kind of sabotage your opponent, I suppose. And she does that, and you feel really sad because, you know, in the story part, she's like, yeah, let's be friends. And then she does like dick moves like that. But I don't know, all in all, I think it's gonna be a fun game. I did do a sort of let's play type thing in my Ruby party video where I did on the spot translation and played it a little bit. And yeah, it to me, I like the graphics, I like the look of the game, it all was quite fun. And I really like this guy, he's cute, he's so my type, like out of all these, he is like my type. And then this guy, I don't know, I feel like he's just so pretty, and I think he's like the tomboy, I think. I don't know who I'm gonna go for first. Usually I go for the one that I'm least interested in, but I don't know, we shall see. Yeah, and I guess this was on my poll, but I didn't think it got like the most votes, so it's not the one that I'm gonna play probably, but I might do it in the future, I don't know. Next up, less known, very much less known I guess, is Jewelic Nightmare. And to be quite honest with you, I don't really know what this is really about. It says that it's about this girl that gets lost in a castle in her dream or something. And then someone says that she needs to choose a gemstone before the next full moon or something. And all of these guys are like different gemstones. That's what the blurb says, so I really don't know what to expect. It was on my list for a while because I think there's like a vampire character, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I am looking forward to it. I just really don't know what to expect. We shall see. Again, I will probably, every time I finish a game, I want to do a review of it. So who knows, one day, maybe in the future, when I don't have anything and I really feel like playing something with a vampire or something in it, I'll pick this up and it'll be fun. Now, last but not least, and this is the one I was probably most excited about out of all of these, is Tokimeki Memorial Girls Side Story 4, or Girls Side 4th Heart, the official name. I don't know, I always think of it as just Girls Side Story 4. But yeah, this has a lot of gameplay in it. This side is probably more worth looking at. It's kind of like a high school setting where you go to school, you learn certain subjects, like you increase your stats while, you know, increasing relationship points with your girlfriends, as well as, you know, different guys, and you also have like dress up. There is a lot of content, and so I decided that it would be a great idea to get the official guidebook. Yay! I don't know. But so I have heard that there are a few errors, like 20 errors or something. So I've gone to their website, and I probably will put sticky notes and, you know, put where all the errors are. But I'm really excited. I've already sort of started playing a bit of it, and there's just so much content that this is kind of like a necessity, I think, for beginners like me. And yeah, it's just so much fun. Like, I'm enjoying this so far, and so, you know, I'm low-key glad that everyone picked this one for when I put up the poll for my streams on Thursday. Yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun, and I like the dress up bit, and every month or something, you know, the two girlfriends are like, hey, this is your lucky and more fashionable items, and you have to go out and like buy those clothes and stuff. I don't know, it's just fun. And you've got quite a large variety of guys. I think the teacher is super attractive, but anyway, we can save the hype until Thursday. I'm so excited. But anyway, that ends my show and tell session. Hopefully you enjoyed that, because I most certainly did, talking about otome games. As is always the case, I probably talk too much, to be honest, but you know, I can't help it, I just get too excited. But as I said, I think out of all those, I think Tokimeki Memorial is probably the one I was most hype about, followed by Angelique, and then maybe Wolves Saga, I think. But do let me know which one you're most interested in out of the 6, just because I'm curious to know what people, you know, tend to have preferences for, and I enjoy it when I see people talking in my comments. Like, sometimes I see people talking not to me, but to like someone else, and that makes me so like hyper, as weird as that sounds. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Bye!